Buenas tardes y en esta
Good
oportunidad
afternoon, my friends.
tenemos
In
la
this
compañía
opportunity, we have
de
the
un
company of
maestro
an
artesano,
artisan,
amigo
a friend
mío,
of mine,
Martín
Martin
Granados.
Granados. Welcome,
Bienvenido
Martin.
a
Welcome
este
to El
programa,
Mirador de Kino.
El Mirador. Muchas
Thank you so
gracias,
much,
Walter,
Walter. Thank you so much for the opportunity and allow me to show my work to the people who love art and traditions. And this opportunity allows me to be visible and show what
Recuerdo
I'm
de tus
doing.
inicios,
I
que tú
remember your
empezabas haciendo una
beginnings.
mascarita,
I
¿no?
remember
Y
you
ahora tú me
started
hablas de que
making
tienes un equipo, ¿no? Y que
one
estás
mask,
compartiendo
and
la
now
tradición.
you are talking that you have a team. Well, you know our beginnings, you know my beginnings. When I say our beginnings, it's because behind me there is a group of young guys following me and working with me, and I am sharing with them the few things I know about this artistic world. They see in the culture an opportunity. Also, I work in the Tucume Museum, where I learn about the tramits, documents, where I learn about the intangible heritage to provide the value. But of course, my subjects, my goals, my knowledge is the craft. I started as a dancer because of faith, and I'm always thankful to my father and my mother because they always be there for me, supporting me, showing me the faith to the Virgin, to the Purísima Concepción. Obviously, my parents gave me everything. My mother made my first suit. My father, with all his effort, he gave me my first mask. But of course, I was a child that always were destroying the mask because of curiosity and also because of sweating, because the dance, we dance for many hours. The cardboard is very delicate, especially with the humidity. And it was so difficult to find a thin mask. And indirectly, I learned the art to make masks, first with cardboard and then with tin. When I started to make the tin mask, I found too many difficulties, especially because it was painful. That provoked me some wounds because the sweating is corrosive. And then I was adapting, for example, new acrylic, new paintings, and I was always learning, trying and trying different things and methods until I found the good method, the good techniques. And then when I started to control the method, I started to produce beautiful things. Sadly, the tin craft is missed in the north of Peru. I believe we are the only town that produce tin products, and also we are teaching the new generations. And this is how I create my workshop. That was my goal, to teach them. I don't want them to have the same issues that I had because nobody taught me. And I started to make workshops in summer with cardboard because I want them to be familiar with the mask and the technique. Actually, I have around 16 young guys working with me, and I am teaching them because they are in the same process that I was, like in the trial, trying different techniques, but at least they don't have the same issues that I had when I was a young like them. I started to do some work of promotion and awareness, teach them in schools, showing them some photo expositions with all pictures. Thanks to the Católica University of Lima, I showed the children how the masks were in the 80s.
Bueno, para hablar de tradiciones,
Well, talking
de
about La Valleque
Lambayeque
traditions,
tendríamos
we might
horas y
spend
horas.
hours and hours
Es el
because
baile
this
de los
dance,
diablicos,
the
sería
Little
comenzar
Devil
contigo.
dance or the
Pero se
Diablicos
basa
dance,
en
is
la fe
based
a una
on the faith
en
to
un
a
pueblo muy
virgin in
pequeño
a
de
very, very
aproximadamente
small town,
70.000
about the
personas,
70,000
pero que todo gira
inhabitants,
alrededor
and
de la
everything
Virgen.
go around the Virgin. This is the most strong that we have in Tucumán. Everything is moved around the Virgin, the Purísima Concepción. When the people see this character, the first thing they see is a devil. But behind this character, there is a person with a lot of faith who had a miracle from the Virgin, with a heart full of faith, because he's dancing to the Virgin. And also, when I started to dance was because a miracle for the Virgin. People say, Each person from Tucume has a little devil inside. And this is the way we consider ourselves, that our essence is the faith to the Virgin. I heard some testimonies of people, like for example women that couldn't have babies, then they had it after praying to the Virgin, then they visit my workshop asking me to make masks for the babies. Sometimes the babies, they don't know what's going on, but the parents want to show the tradition to the babies. It's faith. Also, I met people that they were sick and then they said, I want to dance because the Virgin healed me. Each person has a different testimony, but everyone has the same love to the Virgin. That love is shown through the mask, through the dance, to be a little devil. Because the dance and wear this mask is an act of love to our Virgin. And also in one way, it's the attachment, because we are giving our faith, we are giving our life to the Virgin. It's important to don't lose the traditions just because people want to dance. No, there is something behind that. A few years ago, we were around 200, 250 dancers. One year we had around 450 dancers. This year we had 962 dancers. You started to dance because of a miracle of the Virgin. Can you share it with us? Yes, of course. I always tell this miracle. I am thankful to the Virgin because when I was a kid, one of my brothers had a sicknesses. And he was always suffering with pain and also with some neurological issues. And he was always just walking with no direction. And I always was aware of the suffering of my family. As a child, I felt impotent. So the only thing I could do was pray to the Virgin. And I promised her, if she killed my brother, I will dance until my leg allows me to dance. It happened 34 years ago and I feel my legs still strong and I will continue dancing. How started this dance of the little devils in Tucume? This dance was preserved for more than 80 years by a man named Georgin Carrillo Vera, rest in peace, and his family keep this tradition from many years. And right now, his son Julio Carrillo still with the tradition. Because I think around 250 years ago, his family started to keep this tradition. And Georgin Carrillo told me once that his grandfather, Eloy Carrillo, at that time, told him that the people was running scared because the conquerors were coming, and the conquerors were coming with the demons. When the Spanish, the conquerors came, they came with their beliefs, the popular belief. And also I heard from my grandmother who lived 100 years and my grandfather who lived 80 years, and they heard from other people when they were young that these characters were going out in the night scaring the people. And this tradition was born around the 17 and 1800 because the Spanish wanted the indigenous to convert to the Christianism. So in Tucume exists the mountain La Raya. The Spanish named him Purgatory. And this mountain is the center of the old town and is surrounded by pyramids. The people said the Spaniards turned fire on in the mountains and they dressed as a devils and were going through the town scaring people with masks because they were representing animals like a pig, a cow, dogs, but they were oversizing their facts because they want them to show that they were mythological demons. They were always praying that if the indigenous don't turn to the Christianism, they will burn in the Purgatory Hill mountain. And this is the way that this character turned into the oral tradition and keep during all these centuries, all this time. For me, it has a lot of value because this story passed from generation to generation. Those stories, those legends, because I learned it from my grandfather and my grandfather learned it from his grandparents. I remember around 20 years ago, I looked for you because I wanted a mask. I had the intention to dance. but I couldn't. I walked with the Virgin during the long path, during the long peregrination, and I saw the dance has different varieties in each town nearby. They have their own dance, their own dresses, and also I saw certain competitions. I cannot call it a competition. When the festivity starts, the near town Mochumi bring the Virgin to the border of our town and they give us the Virgin. And then we continue the peregrinations. And then after our festivity, we go with the Virgin to the border and we give the Virgin to the next town. So the people from Tucume, they start to clap and scream, Tucume, Tucume. And then the next town, Mochomi, start to do the same. So the people start the environment of rivalry. But I think we are the only festivity that close the transit from a very important way as the Panamericana for more than 5 hours. It's amazing, and there is no word to describe all these things that the Virgin provoke. We don't know in what time we separate and we divide and there is the difference. I think the Mochumi dance is beautiful because they dance in group and also they dance in the same rhythm, but Tucume is more individual. But before, it was no border, no political borders. It was only one valley, the valley of Rio La Leche. But Tucume was the cultural and power center for everything we have here. The only photographic record that exists was made by Bruning in 1904 in a near town named Jayanca, and he described them as the Diablicos of Tucume. But then the researcher Arturo Jimenez Borja described one mask of the Diablicos of Tucume as a monkey. But I feel it's important because this description connects us with another town named Freñafe. Maybe he was confused with another mask from another dance because Freñafe has a dance to receive the Virgin. It's named the Crazy Cow. Some people call them the Divine Star. And this dance has some shepherds, comes a hunter, a tiger, a bear, and a monkey. It's named Martincito because all these state we share the Virgin. We can talk about the English dance that is considered cultural heritage because they insert cultural expressions and religious expressions from that time. Obviously, we always are proud of our dance, but of course there is other dance, as the shepherds, the negritos, and the tondero, because Lambayeque, our region, is very rich in culture. And for me, it's important to show the people that it's not only a mask. Behind this mask, there is a huge historical and religious context. And this is why, through my art and through my faith, I want to tell the story of our town. Through my hands, I make this mask, and I wanted to show in the worldwide. And now I have this opportunity. Thank you, Martin. Can you show us a mask and talk about some elements? I have one here. It's a tiny mask for a child. I made it for my son. This mask describes a character. In this case, it's a bull. In this mask, we oversize the factions with horns, a tongue out of the mouth, huge eyes, and also I add these cheeks. Before was only plain. Now I wanted to give them some volume. The same, the horns, they are real horns. And also this image is not a crown, it's a rising sun. It was a deity of the ancient people from this region, Lambayeque. So the Spanish, they use the indigenous people, believe to change their mindset. Tell me, how do you see the future of these traditions? Because this is a life tradition, it's changing all the time. There is new generations adding new elements, I believe that in certain way there is some people that they exaggerate adding things. It's okay that our mask shows the image of a devil, but I think we cannot lose the essence. And also we cannot distort. We must to keep it as it is. But there is people that they are very excited and also they don't know about the traditions and they add some technology. Also, they change the dance steps. Nowadays there is a group of old dancers. They critique to the young generations. I admire to the old dancers, as I always say. For example, Alfredo Chicoma. He is a person who dances really, really good. This dance of the Diablicos. And I always try to copy him. I always say him, I try to copy him some things, some steps, because I have my style. Everyone has their own style. I know, Walter, if you dance one day, you will have your own style. But because of that, I will not be allowed to critique you, because I know you will do your maximum effort. I'm trying always to understand, and my goal is to make a balance, because some young generation, they are very excited and they distort these traditions.
La última vez que te vi fue en Estados Unidos
I remember the last
y
time when I saw you
me
was
dio
in the
mucha alegría
United
que
States,
también
and
estás
I am
involucrado
happy
en
because
otros
you are
proyectos.
always involved in new projects. I was here in Tucume asking you, for example, what can I do to grow? And then, after a few years, I met you in New York, and talking about projects. And as always said, I learned those things about create projects, create plans in the Tucume Museum, because they give me the opportunity to grow and work there. I met Alfredo Narvaez and the director Bernardo Delgado, to Mr. Sandoval as well, because they always give me some details and how to start. And then I learned how to make a document, for example. And this is how, with all the people that was coming to this town, like a TV reporters, for example, I met a friend, Cesar Fe, who has a project to bring the traditional music to a stage without losing the cultural traditions. As well, through some friends, I met a person that I am very, very, very thankful, because he helped me to improve my art and took me out of the unknown world as an unknown artisan. Her name is Soledad Mujica. He offered me a space in a festival, Rural Kimaki. It's a huge exhibition art festival. I don't know if it's the biggest one, but it's one of the most important in Peru. And it connects the best traditional artists. Few ago, I had the opportunity to go to Paucartambo in Cusco, the mask artist biggest festival in Peru. And also, these festivals gave me the opportunity to be invited to Mexico to show my mask. This mask has a syncretism, and also the people who visit us say this is one of the most beautiful masks in Latin America, because it has a big historical and religious context. The most important is a thin mask. Then I had the opportunity to join the Patronal with Cesar Fe, and we went to the United States to make real the dream of too many artists. The pandemic was a bad experience for everyone, especially for the people who, like me. It was tragic. We didn't know what to do on how to project our work. We lost many important people. We lost many relatives. It was a dark time for us. And I'm thankful to the Virgin, to God, because I got the COVID and I was almost dying, but I'm here. Also, the Peruvian bureaucracy is very bad. It's very tedious, complex. As I always say, it's not made for the artisan, for a craftsman. The bureaucracy during the pandemic was not made for the people who doesn't know how to use computers, for example, or to use Zoom. What are your short-term goals? Well, I am making my dream come true, to make a museum a mask museum in the north of Peru, things that doesn't exist here. I hope you will be here present when we inaugurate the museum, because I would love that friends like you that knows my beginnings of my workshop be here. And also, I wanna thanks publicly to your father, Orlando Vera, because he is a person that when people talks about culture, he's the first person that support culture unconditionally. And I would love the people here knows the quality of person that he is. And also he's working to make this town known, well known to the world. How people can contact you? Do you have a website? Do you have a site where people can locate to you? Well, my workshop, thanks God, is visible to many people and institutions. We are working through online platforms, and people can find me looking for Martin Granados Taller Artesanal on Facebook, Instagram, and also we deliver worldwide. For example, a few ago, I sent one mask to Latvia. I don't know where is Latvia, but I sent my mask there. I deliver my mask to Spain, Italy, Canada, Mexico, United States, China, Japan. Even some customers ask gold code. For example, one of the countries where I deliver more masks is France, without counting some countries that I don't know, or really I don't know where they are located. But I know my masks are around there. Our town, Tucume, is telling its story through the masks. I deliver with the mask a flyer with photos, with the history of our dance, because it's important that the people knows what is around the mask. I want to thanks to you very deeply because you are sharing all this beautiful information. For me, it's an honor to see how friends like you grow and making their dreams come true. And I hope we can meet soon. And from my side, I want to say thanks for everything you are doing and for sharing it with us. Anytime. I hope to see you soon and we can work together for our town, because we have some projects in common, and I hope we can make it come true. And I hope to create more opportunities and make our work visible and share our culture, because I know you love your town, Tucume. For the culture, for the ecology, and for everything. Thanks, Walter. A big hug for you, and the Virgin and God bless you.